Hello, friend. You're welcome to this very important discussion on three keys for improved productivity in business and career. In the next few minutes, I'll be taking you through this discussion. And I want to start by saying that it's very, very essential to realize that care is very important. I need you to realize that showing care is very, very important because if you don't care, you will be often skewed in your views on issues. And it will affect the decisions you make in the course of carrying out any responsibility. If you don't care about a situation, it becomes difficult to show sincere interest in that situation. And that is why I want to take you through three important areas of cares you need to work on if you want to improve on your business or your deliverable in workplace. And these are important things you need to do. The first one is the issue of caring for yourself. All right, it's very important. You care for yourself. An advert will say, if you don't care for yourself, who will? So you care for yourself. You also care for those around you, those you work with, those in your family, those around you. They mean a lot. Then you also care for the business or your workplace, the deliverables, the expectation where you are making your living, your livelihood. You care about it. So these are three important areas of cares I will discuss with you in the next few minutes. So can we start with the first one? The first one is care for yourself. The truth is that if you override a willing horse, death will be the natural result. Yes, you are willing. You want to work. You are working hard. You are putting all your efforts to make sure you achieve your goal. But if you don't care for yourself and you override yourself, you will probably not be there tomorrow. Okay? And that is why it's important you take care of yourself. Taking care of yourself means doing things, making sure you are doing things that are healthy, things that are enjoyable, things you love doing, things you enjoy doing. Okay? This includes, a lot of taking adequate time to recharge yourself, to reinvigorate yourself. It also involves socializing when you can, as much as possible. Interact with people. You are not an island. Socialize with others. But while you socialize with them, be sure to establish your boundaries. Because if you don't establish your boundaries and people encroach on your boundaries again and again, you may discover that you are doing yourself disfavor. So socialize as much as possible, but do that while establishing your boundary. Of course, another word for self-caring for yourself is what we call self-care. Self-care basically refers to anything you do to keep yourself mentally, emotionally, physically, socially, spiritually healthy. I should take it again. Yes, I'll give it to you. Self-care involves doing things that will help you make sure you maintain emotional health, physical health, social health, and spiritual health. How many of them did I mention? I say emotional number one, physical number two, social number three, spiritual number four. Four of them are important because they make who you are. All right. What are the benefits of self-care? There are many, many benefits of self-care. The first one I want to mention here is the physical health. Regular exercise, for instance, eating nutritious meals, not just junks. Some people could be very busy in the office that they will hardly get time to eat good food. So eat good food, not just junks. So regular exercise, nutritious meal, and getting enough rest will enhance your physical health. It will strengthen your immunity, your immune system. It will boost your energy level to be able to deliver in workplace. It has also been shown or proved, clinically, that when you are able to take care of yourself, physically, it goes a long way reducing health diseases, It reduces chances of stroke or even cancer. All right, so your physical well-being is important, and close to it is being able to manage your emotional and mental well-being. If you don't manage your emotional and mental well-being, it will of course lead to stress. It can lead to symptoms of depression, and if care is not taken, anxiety could set in. Depression is a very terrible stage to step into, and if you are not careful and you are so engrossed with what you are doing without caring for yourself, and depression sets in, you may need to pay a lot to recover from it. All right, so the earlier you manage it so that you don't step into that stage is very, very important. Another key point is that it increases your productivity and your focus. Self-care allows you to recharge yourself, so to say, to reinvigorate yourself, leading to improved concentration. It also increases your productivity. Of course, it increases, makes you a better person in problem solving. It increases your ability to solve problems if you have taken good care of yourself. Another key area in benefits of self-care is better relationship with others. Better relationship. When you prioritize caring for yourself, you will have that emotional resources, emotional strength to invest in relationship with others. But if you don't, managing relationship with others could become an uphill task. Of course, when you care for yourself, it increases your self-worth. It increases your self-esteem. What is self-esteem? You are the one esteeming yourself. You are the one trying to, estimate the value you have as a person. So if you actually attach value to yourself, it will make you to take care of yourself. All right? And if you take care of yourself, it will go along with increasing your self-worth. It shows that you actually value yourself. Okay, so, and if you do that, it will help you not to get to a point where you feel burnout. Taking care of yourself prevents burnout. Burnout basically has to do with a prolonged period of emotional stress. Okay, so regular self-care helps to prevent states of physical, mentally, and emotional prolonged stress, where you feel that you are burnout, you feel like packing up everything, and sometimes if you're not careful, you may do something crazy to yourself and to the system where you work. Okay, so second to caring for yourself is caring for others. For those of you who are very familiar with the Holy Bible, the Holy Scripture, Jesus was discussing somewhere and they asked him a question. He said to the disciples, love your neighbor as you love yourself. So loving your neighbor is important, but it has a lot to do with how much you love yourself. So if you don't love yourself, I personally, I suspect that your neighbor is in trouble. There was this joke, joke with children, and then they said, okay, two persons had a shop somewhere, they are selling store, and then God appeared to one of them who has been praying and saying, God, I need you to prosper me, I need you to bless me. And God said, okay, that's fine. I'm going to bless you. I'm going to prosper you. But whatever blessing I give you, that your neighbor, I will double it and give it to your neighbor. The person says, that's interesting. So what does it concern you if God is blessing you and your neighbor is also getting blessed? You have your space, your neighbor has his or her space. So the person jokingly said, according to the story, God, I need you to bless me. And God said, what's the blessing? He said, God, make me blind in one eye. Wow. So if God makes you blind in one eye, what happens to your neighbor? Of course, the two eyes will go blind. Okay, so this is invariably somebody who doesn't love himself. So make sure you show love to yourself. And then your neighbor, you extend this love to others. Care for others. It is the ability, that caring for others, is that ability to hear people out, to demonstrate understanding, to recognize other people's needs and feeling. It's very important if you must make progress where you work. Showing care in workplace, for instance, whether it is your business or it is where you're employed to work, is central in developing a positive, trusting environment where everybody have pleasant experience working together to fulfill their roles and achieving the organizational goal. All right, I've worked with great men who know how to make the work environment very pleasant, and you see everybody working as a team. So try to engineer it wherever you are. It is in your court to do. Okay, showing care in workplace, like I've said earlier, refers basically to a lot of things, but largely it has to do with appreciating people who work with you. Appreciate them, appreciate their input, support them. you know Wherever you think you can be of help to them, show that concern. I have a boss. Anytime we have a meeting, and before he starts the meeting, he takes round. He will ask everybody, how are you doing and how is your family? He will call you name one by one. Maybe we're about 14 or 15 or 16. He will call each person and say, how are you doing? How are you doing? You respond. Before he starts the meeting, he calls it self-care, a care moment. So if you can engineer care moment in your place of work, you have the boss. It helps you understand the people who are working with you. Okay, the first task everybody does in workplace is not to start working, it's to check yourself and be sure you are in the right position, right mindset to work. Otherwise, that your rush into the workplace may be counterproductive. So while you care for yourself, you care for others. What does it mean to care for others? It has a lot to do with showing empathy, showing understanding. Empathy is basically being able to feel the joy, feel the sorrow of those around you, and to sincerely celebrate them where they need to be celebrated, and to give the necessary support where necessary. All right, it has a lot to do with being considerate. Being considerate is basically accounting for the feelings of others when you take decision. Accounting for the feelings. Put yourself in their position while you make that decision. Whether they be junior staff or whosoever, whether they be receptionist or gate man or driver, you be considerate. All right? And then communication is key. As much as is necessary, communicate. I've worked with somebody that it's a bit difficult working with. I mean, you want to communicate to this person is not coming forth. Sometimes if I had to approach the person one day and said, I hope I'm fine, did I offend you? When you get people to that point where they wonder whether they're in good relationship with you, it affects the work. Okay, so communicate as much as possible. So when you communicate that way, it helps to strengthen teamwork. It helps to strengthen relationship, and it helps to enhance deliverables. And another key thing that looks very silent is listening. Your ability to listen to people. When you listen to people, you may not have the solution, but by just listening, it shows how much they matter to you. And then how you demonstrate it sometimes, if they finish talking, you quickly recap what they have said and return it to them and say, I've heard you. And that reassures the person that, look, I mean a lot to this person. Okay? What else does it mean to care for people? Making out time for others. Yes, everybody is busy at work, but it's important to make out time for others who need it. When they need your time, give them that time. That may be in the overall interest of the organization or the goal you are pursuing. All right? And then next to it is reassuring trust. Of course, trust enhances teamwork. If there is no trust in a system, it becomes difficult for people to work together. Trust has to do with believing that this person you have given a task will deliver. Even if you need to follow up on the person or provide support, you are doing it not to tell the person that I don't trust that you will deliver, but I trust you, but I'm ready to give you help where necessary. So that goes a long way enhancing issue of teamwork in workplace. And then another key thing is learning to appreciate them. Yeah, your kind words means a lot. I've worked with great men who know how to appreciate people. You have just done a great job. You've walked through the night. You've prepared to make sure you meet up before deadline, and you send this mail, this report to your boss, and he returns with a short but very important note. Thank you. Good job. My other boss will say, Marco, you are doing well. I love this. So learn to use positive words. Learn to appreciate people. Great job. Thank you. Well done. Much appreciated. Keep it up. Good work. Let this thing not be scarce in your vocabulary while you work with your colleagues. You may be the boss. It may be your colleagues. And I learned this. I see it quite helpful. I've worked with a team of 3 persons or 4, and we are preparing a report. As I'm sending this report, in the cover notes, I will make a line to say, I appreciate the input of my team members. When they see that report, they will appreciate it. Or maybe I'm the one presenting it before a group. In that presentation, I will recognize my team members who made effort. Maybe they are not even my team members, but in the course of preparing that presentation, I met A, B, C, D. So I could quickly appreciate their input. A, B, C, D made contribution in this work and is appreciated. So please, can we have the presentation? So when you do that, it makes people willing to work with you. All right? And then the next one, which is the third one, is caring for the business. Without the business, we can't effectively care for ourselves, let alone caring for others. Because that business provides the resources. It provides that safety. It provides that mindset, that peace of mind that we need, which we can extend to others. But when you don't care for the business and the business is collapsing, then even your self-care is affected. Your care for others is also affected. All right? So there is always room. How do you care for the business? There is always room to improve on the business you are doing. That's caring for the business. There's always room to improve on the business you are doing. That's why you see this picture here. Continuous improvement is a chain process, an endless process, as long as that business remains an ongoing business. Okay, so at every stage, there is room for improvement and growth. That is what we are saying about caring for business. What does it entail? Caring for business. For instance, somebody working with you has contacted you for information or support, and this support or information is within your domain. Your ability to respond quickly shows how much you care for that business. If you think that you are trying to delay the person's work, you are affecting the business as a whole, and you are killing the business. So some people may even delay totally or fail to respond, but you may not know the impact of that your action on the overall interest of the business. It may be your business, it may be your career. Let me give a typical example. Somebody, and that is part of why many of my students and my associates, when they ask for referee reports, as soon as possible I can deliver, I quickly deliver. Sometimes they request maybe from an institution or where they work, could enter my mail now and I'm available, I'll quickly treat it. If I'm not ready to treat it, I'll keep it as unread so that as soon as possible, I'll quickly treat it. When you do, you are supporting the system. And so it helps in deliverables. Okay, if somebody sends you a mail requesting for something and you are not disposed to treat it immediately, your quick response is say, received, I will revert back to you soon. That's key. It shows the person that, look, my message is delivered and well received. That is how you support the business. So, I believe you. You are trying at workplace. You are working hard. But you can do more. You can do more. To do more actually calls for discipline. And that is why discipline is a key factor in caring for business. You cannot care for the business without discipline. Our discussion here is not all about discipline. But whatever it takes to demonstrate discipline at workplace, please do it. That is one of the major ways you can care for business. All right? So how do we care for business in a very practical manner? I've tried to illustrate that. But in your business or workplace, maybe you have a process, maybe you have activity, maybe you have targets, you have goals. Occasionally do what we call a review. Review this process, review these activities, review these goals. Yes, you are doing well. you are doing well. Make things better. That's the step. Occasionally ask yourself this question: what more can I do to improve on this? What else can I do to improve on this? What more could be? You are doing something, you need to put more effort. What else? There may be something you have never thought about on how to get your deliverables done. If you think that direction and you are sincere, you will always pop up with a very innovative idea on how to meet your result or improve on your deliverables. It's a continuous process. Continuous improvement is a way of caring for your business. All right? Now, in most cases, we think of the next step to take. But caring for business has a lot to do with not just thinking about the next step, but thinking about the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth step. Thinking ahead. Don't just think about the next game. Think about what is going to happen after the next game. That will help you be on top of the situation. Okay, so think not just about today. Think about tomorrow's game. Work plan could be very helpful in doing that. If you have a work plan you are following, you maintain. It may be not a work plan designed by your boss, but you design it for yourself because you have a target of improving. And when you are trying to sketch your work plan, you may find the room where improvement is required. All right? So you think of how to position yourself to remain relevant in this workplace. How to position the business for more wins as much as possible. And if you are thinking about that and designing that, you may discover that there are skills you need. You may not have the skills. You build it up. Or you get the people who have the skills on your team. Or you work with them. You may discover that there are resources necessary. You get those resources ready to make sure you remain on top of the game. All right? And then caring for business also involves appreciating your small achievements in the business. Appreciate those small wins you are getting. Those moments, small moments of victory, when they are put together, when they are aggregated that way, they make big difference when they are put together. So appreciate those small moments. Appreciate those who push you beyond your comfort zone for better results. If, for instance, your boss has complained about the way you are delivering in workplace, it means that person loves you. He wants you not to look that job. He's pushing you beyond your comfort zone to make sure there is deliverable, to justify why you are engaged. I worked with a boss somewhere, and I will revert back to him on certain assignment to ask for further direction. One day he asked me a question: Makwa, if I have to tell you everything you need to do to deliver on this job, why do I pay you? So why will people pay you when they have to literally do your job for you? That thing you have in your skull is not coconut water. It is brain. Brain that if you tax it, it will produce results. But when you don't tax it, it remains there. Many of us don't know how much capacity we have until we tax our brain. Let me give you an instance. Some of you have written exam before. You have read. You read your book, but you are thinking you are not well prepared. But when you are sitting under exam condition and you tax your brain, you'll be surprised how much your brain can produce within the specified time. So don't just be at your comfort zone. Appreciate those who push you a little. Your boss called you and said you are not doing well here. Please go and review that thing. Even when he is no longer complaining, don't be sure that you are okay. Find a way of making sure you don't lose that job by positioning yourself as somebody who is relevant in that workplace. If you don't, the next thing could be something that you never expected. To say, sorry, we don't think you will need your service anymore. And I'm sure you don't need that kind of letter. So learn from those you report to. Learn from those you watch. There may be people you watch in the workplace or elsewhere. Learn from those who are doing well. Learn from those who did not do well. Of course, from those who did not do well, you will learn what not to do so that you not follow the example. And for those who are doing well, you can learn how to be better. All right? So that is how to care for business. The truth is that when we care for this business, the business will care for us. That's the truth. If you care for the business will care for you. You don't care for the business will not care for you. The business doesn't care for you, it becomes difficult for you to care for others. And that is why I want to end with a very important question I'll leave you with. How can you improve on your current business or your deliverables in a workplace? Think about it. That is where I'm going to end this discussion. How can you improve in your current business and or your workplace? Think about it. Thank you for listening. God bless you. Cheers.